Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's Toby's Talk Show, and as you guys know, the Pistons have won the lottery, and I actually predicted that. I don't think I made it on this video, but I did for some reason think the Pistons were gonna win it. If you guys know Crispy Flakes, which I'm sure you do, I wanted Crispy to make a dope video, and he did. And I'm just very happy for him. The Pistons have been through a lot, and also it's pretty good for me. If you guys don't know, I'm going to Michigan next year. So if I'm gonna go to Pistons games, I get to see Cade Cunningham, which is amazing. But today in this video, I want to talk about, a lot of people are like, oh, poor Cade, he's going to, the Pistons, it sucked. And, it's not 100% necessarily true because the Pistons, with people not, fully realizing it, they're starting to really get it together. They've kind of been in this like loophole of like being a bottom, I would say, like bottom 9, 10 team in the East. There were a few years when they made the playoffs with Blake Griffin and Drummond. But besides that, they haven't made the playoffs. They just have been horrible. Just bad management, bad coaching, Van Gundy, bad signings, just etc. There's so many things that went wrong with the Pistons, but it seems like they're finally on the right track. They're finally rebuilding correctly. They had a great draft last year, getting Sadiq Bey, who was on an All-NBA first team, Isaiah Stewart, who was on an All-NBA second team, I believe, and Killian Hayes, who I am in love with, but no one really got to see how he played because he was hurt for most of the year and then had to try to bounce back for the last few games. But I love this team, and now you're adding Cade Cunningham. You have a perennial, not there yet, but a perennial kind of, not perennial, I don't know why I say that, but like kind of close to an all-star in Jeremy Grant. He definitely should not be a number one on your team. But I'm excited for this Pistons team, man. I think it's going to be very interesting. The lineup will probably, obviously, there's free agency, but most likely it'll probably look like Killian Hayes or Cade, put either of them at the 1, put the other one at the 2, Jeremy Grant at the 3, Sadiq Bey at the 4, or you could switch that, and then Isaiah Stewart at the 5. And it's a young team, don't get me wrong, and their bench will not look that great unless they make some nice moves in free agency. But look, they're getting somewhere. They shouldn't be the worst team in the league next year. Cade is so good. I'm so excited to see Cade Cunningham. And I just really wanted to make this video to say, I see a lot of people, oh, rip Cade, and I know it's a joke because the Pistons have always been terrible. Detroit's not the greatest place to live. There's obviously a lot better places that, like Florida without tax and nice weather, Texas, etc. But I'm really excited for this Pistons team. They have a nice coach in Dwayne Casey, who has proven time and time again that he can elevate teams. He's obviously not given the greatest. He's obviously not been given the greatest rosters with the Pistons so far. But this will be an all right roster next year. I hope they make some moves in free agency, sign a few more nice pieces so that your roster isn't just like, okay, you have a solid starting 5, your bench is trash. If they could kind of round out that bench, get a few nice pieces, this team can be in contention for that play-in if that play-in is going to be still a thing, which it seems like it will. And look, I don't know. Killian Hayes is going to be in his second year now. He'll be able to improve. Sadiq Bey is only going to get better. Same with Isaiah Stewart. Cade Cunningham is the number 1 prospect for a reason, and we talked about that, or at least I talked about that in a whole video, yesterday. And if you haven't seen that, go check it out. And Jeremy Grant's going to be here for a few years, and he's shown that he could score a lot of points. Obviously, if they make the playoffs, it'd be different. We saw it happen with like a Julius Randle, who shouldn't be a number 1 option. Where if you're easily able to contain him, it's tough for that team to get offense. But we're not worrying about Detroit, being in the playoffs yet. I'm just excited to see them get better. I'm just excited that they're finally, on the right track in this rebuild. They have all their picks pretty much. They have some cap space. They have solid young players, and they'll only all get better. If you guys saw Crispy Flakes video, he said, we're ready to take over in 3 to 4 years when the process is over. And he's not wrong. It may take 2, 3, 4 years for them to actually be good and contending for the championship. But I'm excited because I think for the first time since the early 2000s, the Pistons will be relevant, and for a good reason. And yeah, they'll be contending pretty soon. I'm actually really excited because I didn't realize it at the time, but I loved Killian Hayes. I wanted the Knicks to draft him last year. Went to Detroit. Big Cade Cunningham fan. I think a lot of people are. He's going to Detroit. Isaiah Stewart's a beast. Sadiq Bey is a beast. Jeremy Grant. I'm just excited. Go head up to Michigan and watch some games. But yeah, guys, that's really it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I actually will cover some Pistons game next year. You guys know if I watch a whole game or most of a game, I'll recap the game. So expect maybe a few recaps. And yeah, guys, that's really it. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I will see you in the next one. Are the Pistons back in a few years? Maybe. Who knows? We'll see. The NBA is crazy. There are so many twists and turns. You never know what's going to happen. But yeah, guys, that's really it. See you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.